Joe Biden crossed a line that had never really before been crossed in the history of this country. That being that largely the outgoing administration, the transgressions of the administration would be largely ignored by the incoming administration. But I don't think that I had ever seen the word lawfare thrown around more than I did during the 4 years of the Biden administration. And so now it seems as though we're being set up for this perpetual, never-ending cycle of I got you last, that the new administration is going to spend an overwhelming amount of time trying to get back at the previous administration and damage the credibility of the opposing party by engaging in lawfare. Is this a legitimate concern, or do you think that this is just hype?
No, I think it's just hype. I think we absolutely have to prosecute the people who abused the justice system. For example, I'm a currently, as we're having this conversation, I am a criminal defendant in the state of Arizona. I mean, they have abused and abused our justice system, criminal and civil, they've twisted it to unrecognizable degrees. Now, there's two ways we can get out of this mess where the mess you're describing of, the constant back and forth. There's two ways to end it. The first way is my preferred way, which I think is probably everyone's preferred way, is the people that crossed the threshold, that started this problem. They can say, you know what, we realized we went too far. And they can voluntarily say, we went too far. This is not the door we meant to open. We got carried away. We need to stop. They can say that. They can lay down their arms and they can back away from this. We can close that door and all agree to not revisit it. We could do that, but they're not doing that. They're still prosecuting their political opponents. Yes, the cases against Donald Trump have been dropped because he's the president, but they are still trying to prosecute the rest of us. They're still trying to prosecute his associates. There's about 60 of us: Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia. The Fani Willis case, it's still open. It's not closed. People think it's closed because Donald Trump was dropped. It's not. And so I have a real hard time when they go, oh, you guys are going to make it worse. Okay, if you want us to stop, you go first. You go first. So that's the first way. The second way, if they're not going to stop, they have to be stopped through force. It's like a bully. You were just talking about escalation of force and the use of force. Yep. It's shout, show, shove, shoot, right? Like, hey, stop, don't do this anymore. And we've been doing that. That's what Republicans have been doing. And finally, if they continue to do it and they're not backing down, then you have to use force. And in this case, force means the justice system. You have to prosecute them. You can't say, oh, just because you prosecuted me, now I can't prosecute you. No, until it stops, until this abuse of our justice system, not just criminal, civil as well, and until the abuse stops, we have to push back. Otherwise, they're going to steamroll over all of us.
Christina, I think and I agree with you, but here's the problem as I see it, that there is justice for thee, but none for me. We talk about classified documents. We talk about the classified documents that were allegedly found at Mar-a-Lago. Yet there's nothing about the documents that were found sitting in Joe Biden's garage in Delaware, about the documents that sat in the Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement. We still haven't seen anything about, it's just a right-wing conspiracy theory when anybody talks about the servers that were located in a second-floor bathroom in Colorado that Hillary Clinton was running national security operations through. So, it really doesn't help the credibility of any of this. You got Ghislaine Maxwell, who was arrested 50 miles as the crow flies from where I sit right now. Yet nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been indicted. Nobody's in prison for all of these, imaginary people that were supposedly trafficked to all these people. People have lost their sense of respect, I think, and faith in justice on the federal level.